Good evening, everyone. This is Parinaz Ali, and today on our channel, we have with us some of the most prominent legends who can help you in preparing for the upcoming battle. I know you all have done a great job while preparing, and I know that now you all are very much concerned about getting through to your GDs, WADs, PI, SOP. So let me take you forward. Today, the people who will be helping you in preparing for these upcoming parts of your selection process is going to be Mr. Nitin Rathore, the director and founder of ExpertsEdge. He has been an academy top educator, a Tata McGraw-Hill author, and has an experience of 15 plus year into this industry. And the other person who is going to join you today and who will be helping you in answering your questions and queries is going to be Mr. Kiran Joshi. Sir is a director of Advanced Career Centers. Also, he has 20 plus years of experience in preparation of CAT and allied examinations. And most importantly, he has been the ex-head of Learning and Development Department at IIM Udaipur. And I am so sure that you all are looking forward to have a word with him and get your questions answered. So here I hand it over to him.
Thank you. Thank you, Parinas. So let us begin with the session, and thank you for a kind introduction. So my name is Kiran Joshi, as Parinas has rightly said. Today's agenda for the discussion is that we will be looking at what are the next phases for your conversion of the call into a reality. So let us see how we can make our dreams come true, because getting a shortlisted is a very good thing in life, but then not able to convert that shortlist into admission is really the most painful task. There are some examples which I've seen in 22 years where people who thought that we got so many calls, AC, ABC, LIK, what you call it, a black key and all those things. They say that, okay, we have 6 calls, so we will be able to convert very easily all the process. But I have in life have seen so far 2 examples who have miserably failed in converting all their calls. Okay, so that is what is equally worry for everybody. So first of all, having a great percentile and having a calls shortlist from a B school is a great job. Okay, you have been done a great job so far in written exam point of view. Now it's more important that how are we going to convert that dream into reality. Okay, so with this small process, a small thought process, let me go ahead on the discussion. So if you look at the process for selection, it is obviously known to everybody. There is no missile technology in that. Okay, we have written exams, maybe CAT, SNAP, NMAT, ZAT, CET, IIFT, etc. All those exams except ZAT and CET, rest all are more or over, and already we are talking about the CAT point of view. Now, if you look at the final stage of admission, we have various processes like group discussion, and now most prominently come is a WAT, that is written and analytical test. Essays, SOPs are required for some applications, and then obviously the most important aspect is personal interview. Many of the institutes have nowadays cancelled the GD part, but still we will be providing services to all the people who have GD in their admission process. So don't worry on that. Okay, WAT will be obviously WAT, essay, SOP, and PI are most important thing. I think PI is the one which is a most prominent thing in the entire process, because WAT or essay or SOP, they can be done, you can practice it, it can happen. But for PI, we really need to be very, very careful, and most of the students mess up the entire thing only at the PI level. because GD, VAT or essays or SOPs doesn't really give you that rejection as compared to the personal interview. So a strong emphasis has to be given on how are we preparing ourselves for the personal interview. So obviously this is what is known to everybody. Okay. So let's move ahead. I want to ask you one question that let us know that what you know about the final stage when we talk about the interviews or the GDs or VAT, and you ask us what you know about the process, and I would like to classify all your questions into either is it a myth or is it a reality. And of course I will give my reason with an explanation why it's a myth or why it's a reality. So I think here I would appreciate if you can ask your questions, and I would love to take it from your side. So let me know if you have any doubts. I'll be waiting for your doubts. Feel Don't feel shy. Whatever you feel like, classifying them, you can very well ask me that, okay, is this essential to convert the call? Is this required to convert the call? So please feel free and ask any doubt with that regard. Okay, I say that uh, someone is saying, sir, I have 1 year gap. Can I justify? Very well. It's very easy. Uh, so gap, justification of gap, yes. So you justify your gap. Uh, that's possible. It's not. It's quite good. You can easily do it. You can justify your gap. That's not the big worry about it. How to handle that? We will get back to you. Of course, not everything can be discussed in this session. Okay. One need to have a good communication to crack the interviews. Obviously, I am not saying that you should be an excellent orator. You should be able to express your ideas, your thoughts effectively. Okay, so we are not expecting that you have to be an excellent orator to crack. No. More importantly, how are you able to put a common sense, put a logic in your answer, try something which is quite acceptable to the panel members. So if you are able to speak a normal English, that's more than sufficient from a communication point of view. So that's a good question. In VAT or GD, what if we do not know about the topic asked? Okay, that's the interesting part. Well, if you look at the topics for VAT or let's say GD, they are the one which are common for everybody. Okay. So if somebody asks about nanotechnology and a student's background is in microbiology, let's say into computer science, he may not be knowing about nanotechnology. Someone is an arts graduate, he may not be knowing about the nanotechnology. So obviously, the topics are always there which are common to all the branch of graduation. See, ultimately, all these B school exams are meant for arts students as well as commerce student as well as science student. So the topics for GD or VAT are generally very, very common to a normal human being. Okay, not with any specific branch of graduation. There is no advantage over there. And obviously, there won't be any controversial topic in GD as well as in the interview, in the VAT. Okay. So there won't be anything which can have an opinion based on that. That won't be there. So generally, a topic which is common to where everybody can talk about are those topics are always there in VAT and the GD. Okay, I think, okay, can you tell us more about the stages, Shantanu? So the stages point of view, it depends from various B schools. Okay, so if you look at it, when you talk about IIM, you will have practically directly VAT followed by PI. If you look at other B schools, some will IIFT, you may need to submit the essays or SOPs. So that is where the process is well mentioned at every B school's website, as well as when you get a call, they will also send you once again the process that is expected from your side. So don't worry on that. Okay. What's special to say in YMBA? Oh my God. This is a question. See, since 98 CAT to now it is 2022 CAT. Since 98, 99 CAT, I have been handling students, and why MBA is a question which is a constant haunting for everybody, every student. Okay. And why MBA, there cannot be an answer which can be generalistic. Okay. Understand one thing. The way we have prepared so far for written exam, that is very much different than the way you are preparing for the next stage. Because here your individuality is more important. It's not the group thing. When we look at the classroom coaching or online coaching or the test series, we have a general thing. So we have been taught various topics like time, speed, distance, time and work, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to interview phase, you cannot have a general answer. What is applicable to a student A is not applicable to student B. So why MBA is there? A very haunting question, and I'll be happy to help every individual to prepare a tailor-made answer to suit his or her profile to justify candidature for the MBA point of view. So I cannot give an answer on a common forum where why MBA can be said very easily, which is common for everybody. I hope that clears the doubt on why MBA. Okay. I have a back year in my grad. Do you think that would affect my conversion? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have a back. That's okay. I have seen a student who did engineering in 7 years. Okay. And still managed to get into IIM. That too reputed ABCA like it. Okay. So it's not that if you have a back in one subject or in 1 year, that will affect you much. It's more important, you have to think why it happened. Okay, what was the reason to get that back? What have we done in that time? What was the reason? Justify that, and you can do it. I just remember another person who is also passed out from ABCL or IK, who has a back in his graduation in computer science engineering. But he is fantastic. We went to the B school, he passed out, he worked with a multinational company. He's a big expert in sales and marketing at a premium brands. So it's okay, nothing wrong about it. Can you please elaborate on what a good profile is? Very interesting. There is nothing called as a good profile or a bad profile. Everybody is unique, and that's what I am also going to come ahead. Everybody is unique, and so every profile is a unique profile. Everybody has different things in their life which they can portray and support their candidature. So I don't think that a good profile means, it's not really essential that you have to be a gold medalist from a big IIT and plus 100 percentile. No, that's not the case. That's not at all case. Ultimately, we will come back on what actually faculty looks in a student. Then you will understand that yes, it is quite manageable. Okay. So there is nothing called as a good profile. A profile is a profile. I will say that you should be able to justify every event in your life. You should be able to know what you have done, what you are good at, and what have you achieved so far in your life. So that is what is the most important thing. Shreyash is asking, sir, I have a gap due to UPSC preparation. Should I spoke about my UPSC prep to justify gap or any other reason? Well, Shreyash, there's a gap due to UPSC. I don't think you are the only first person so far to have a gap because of that. It's more important that how what makes you to go for MBA, how you change your mindset from UPSC to MBA. We have to really think on that very carefully, and it should be able to give a justification to all the panel members of every call. Okay, I have one simple request in between to all of you. Please do not focus only on I only want to go to so and so B school. No, I request you that let us convert all the calls that we have and then let's take a decision whether to join. If you start putting up your criteria or your choices before you appear for a process, you are putting too much risk on your candidature. See, there is no difference between a student in IIM Ahmedabad or where I have worked for 4 years at IIM Udaipur. It's maybe the catch percentile difference, the age of the institute matters, but ultimately student is a student is a student. Okay, so you try to put everything, no, I will only go to a particular institute, not to other institute, then I think you are risking too much in your career. And if you are not interested, if you in other going to other B school, then you will ill perform in that process and it may cost you a lot. Understand one thing, CAT comes once in a year. CAT comes once in a year, and so I don't think we should be choosy right now. We should be choosy when we convert everything. Let me have all the calls converted. So let all the institutes say that Kiran Joshi, please join us. Then I will decide whether should I go to which institute or not. Okay. So that's most important thing. Of course, there are also few points which I would like to mention. Some people apply for various courses at a particular IIM, and then if they get calls from both the courses, then it is very essential to decide where you actually want to go. Typically, it happens with the institutes where they offer agribusiness or HR or some other courses, specific courses. And what happens in a hiccup moment, we tick mark all the courses while applying for a CAT. And if you get shortlisted for both the courses or more than one courses, then it is very important to think where you want to put your efforts. And that will help you a lot to put your energy properly. And at the same time, if you are candid enough to tell the college that, okay, you have called me for other course also, which I have tick marked earlier, but I have thought about it and I would like to withdraw my admission shortlist from that course. It will be appreciated by all the faculties. Okay. So वो होता है, in the hiccup moment we do apply to various courses. ABM को भी tick mark किया, HR को भी tick mark किया, regular PGP को भी tick mark किया. Then we have to really think where you want to put the energy. Because many a times, if you get multiple shortlists, you may have only one interview where they will judge you on all 3 courses, and it may happen that you never satisfy anybody of them and you lose all 3. So when you inform them in advance that, okay, don't consider me for ABM, don't consider me for HR, they will take care of that and they will focus on the area where you want to go. So that's a very, very important point. Okay, then, okay, sir, also not having a good internship will affect my conversion? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think conversion, your internship is have anything concerned with the conversion. Okay. Internship is internship that comes in a college where you have done your level best. You are not going to, you have not gone to an inferior company And there is nothing called the inferior or superior when you go to internship. Internship is there for learning purpose. So how you define good internship itself is a big question. Okay, I personally feel internship is nothing but where you go and learn related to your graduation. So there can't be anything like a bad internship, or there cannot be, one cannot say that there is not so good internship. Internship will be there, and so don't bother about the internship point of view. Okay. Do engineers have extra benefits? I am slightly sorry for my smile. Actually speaking, if you look at the CAT admission criteria, engineers have less marks. Okay. Commerce, arts, CAs have more marks if you look at the weightage already disclosed by all the IIMs. Okay. What is the weightage for your CAT percentile? Marks for your 10th, marks for your 12th, mark for your graduation, and then your graduation type. So engineer hai, non-engineer hai, professional hai, and you will see that there is a higher weightage for non-engineers, and also at the same time there is a higher weightage for females also as compared to male, because they also want to have a gender diversity. But in spite, I will say one thing, in spite of all these things, earlier it used to be 99% engineers in IIM. Now that percentage has come down to something around 70 to 65 to 70. So still that dominance of engineer is there. Why it is there? Because we have our academic process itself start filtering students right from a 10th standard. जो अच्छा है वो साइंस लेगा, जिसको मार्क्स कम मिले वो आर्ट्स को कॉमर्स को जाएगा. So that might be have an effect. Let's not go detail about on that area. So there is nothing like a great advantage for an engineer. Okay. So to justify the year gap, should we do certification? If you have done, it's well and good. If you are not done, forget it. See, I understand one thing. If you look at criteria that 10th mark should be more than 80 or 12th mark should be more than 90. अगर आपके नहीं है, then don't try to think much about it. Okay. If you have gap and you have not done certification, okay, we have to figure out किया क्या, कुछ तो किया है. You must have done something. Please work on that. It's not that you are just sat, nobody is going to sit ideal. A human being, we are always busy with something or the other. So identify that, in that gap, what have you done? How have you improved upon yourself? It's not essential certification karna jaruri hai. Okay. So not really essential thing. Nahi kiya hai, so why are you worried? See, understand, if you are a tall, you are a tall. If you are short, you are a short. Okay. Don't think what happened in the past. There is no fun in scratching your head thinking what went wrong with your past. You cannot change that. So don't waste midnight oil thinking about your past. I would appreciate if you roll up your sleeves and start thinking, how are you going to move ahead with all that baggage to go to the next level? So, मुझे एक ईयर डाउन है, एक गैप है, मेरे 10th के मार्क्स कम है. Why worry about it? Understand one thing very important. If you get shortlist, that means they have gone through your profile that you have filled up already on the during your application, and so they know you have a gap. And in spite they have called you, then why are you bothered about it? It's ultimately they are calling you. Am I right? So forget it. So don't think too much about that gap or certification. They have gone through it, so it's their call. They have invited you. So if you got a chance that they have invited you, it's onus is on you to convert that and prove them that they have given a right shortlist. That's the most important thing. Okay. What an interview look for an aspirant. We will look at this point in due course of time. Give me some 10 minutes. I will come back on that. Okay. The most important thing you look for a candidate. Oh, I will come back on that. Don't worry about it. Tushar is saying, I have done 1.5 years in sales marketing in my graduation. by side by side. Is this valid? Nothing wrong about it. Why have you done it? What have you experienced in that? Try to understand that. If possible, obviously for everybody, we can have one-on-one sessions where we will be discussing on all these points. So it's nothing wrong if you have done 1.5 year experience. Okay. Profile concerns me a lot as my ACADs are 8.2 TK. The score is 92.18 in CAT clearing all cutoffs. Okay, don't worry about it. Again, I'm repeating same point, Danishk, that we have to wait for the shortlist. If they have shortlisted you, then they want you. Simple. Understand one simple common sense. If they have shortlisted you, that means they want you in their institute. So it is not they reject you, you reject the college. Let's think in this way. Okay. So we'll wait for a shortlist and we'll work based on that. Have I clarified most of the questions out here? I think so. So, should we go ahead? Let us try and see. If you have questions, I will be referring to the screen. Don't worry about it. So, I think good quality of questions. I am very happy to see the seriousness, sincereness, and yes, we are always happy to help you on that. So, let's move ahead on the next part. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. Now this is where I think there is one question which came. Sir, I want to attend physical interview with you. How can I do that? We will come back to you on that area towards the end. Don't worry. Don't worry. We have sufficient time. I will be answering all the questions. Okay. Okay. What does a faculty demand? Ultimately, understand one thing. Faculty is not a god. They are also human being. Okay. So what they are looking out for, or very simple thing, which I have seen that 22 years of my experience in preparing students for CAT and basically expertise in G.D. That is another one point I would prominently say. I've even seen that some of my students who later became faculty and used to come on behalf of a particular IIM to take the actual process. Even I have privilege to talk with few faculties of prominent IIM who said that, okay, we heard highly about your preparation style from various students coming particularly from Pune build. So how did you teach and all that? So yes, we had a lot of discussions, and of course when I went to IIM Udaipur, where I was heading learning and development for 4 years, where I was concerned about, my job was to prepare 500 students for their summer placements and final placements. So obviously I also discussed with various faculties out there, and that's the whole thing. So what faculties demand is, first thing is that knowing yourself well. Understand whatever questions you have asked, okay, the faculty, are you able to justify everything that you have written or that you have spoken? So first of all, let us take sincere effort to understand yourself. What is applicable for a A student is not applicable for a B student. So do not try to copy paste answer from anybody. Understand yourself first. Okay. Of course, academic knowledge. Sir, I have done graduation 4 years earlier. I can't remember so and so engineering. That is absolutely not applicable. That's not acceptable. Okay. If you have spent your sufficient time of life in getting that degree, you should be able to retain that knowledge. So please spend sufficient time to revise your academic. And I'll tell you one thing, people from different streams, let's say one student from arts, one from commerce, one from engineer, all three went one after other to the interview. Still, the same panel can ask 2 deep questions in everybody's area of graduation. Mark this very well. The faculties are so well educated, so knowledgeable, that they can ask on any area of graduation very easily. So don't assume that faculty may not have seen someone in XYZ branch of graduation, so I should have a safe bet. That's not at all considered. Okay. So that is a one important point. So work on your academics. Professional career industry awareness. So this is particularly applicable for those who are working. Okay. So those who are working, let's say example, say IT sector. Okay. So what is your job role? Where is the IT sector moving on? Suppose someone is working in Tata Motors. So, okay, what is the latest trend in the vehicle or automobile sector? Where is the automobile sector moving? Those awareness are very, very important. Okay. So at the same time, those who are a fresher, they at least, so suppose you are a fresher in say a commerce branch, then what is happening recently in India in economics or in commerce, that you should know a basics of it. Okay, don't go too much in detail. I will get back on that. Okay. Communication skills, I said good, but I already answered that question, that communication skill is nothing but you are able to express yourself in a simple English. Anywhere your communication is so hi-fi, or you try to use words which have multiple meanings, then it becomes difficult. So always avoid subjectivity in your communication. For example, say I am a hardworking. Okay, someone said the coolie on the platform also does a hard work. So is that person not a hardworking? He is also hardworking. So these are the words which have a multiple meanings. Please avoid those words. Okay. And lastly, you have to be a good student. Understand, you are going to be school for next 2 years to study something, to gain some knowledge. So are you willing to learn, or you think you know everything? What is your attitude? That matters a lot. If you are the one who thinks that I am the king of the world, then you are not at all welcome in any B school. Are you a good student? Do you have a learnability? Do you want to learn something or not? That is most important. Okay. Now, there is one important point which is not mentioned here, and I would like to add. Please do not read something which is not a part of your graduation or not a part of your work experience. If you are an engineer working in Tata Motors, you don't need to look at the fiscal policy of India. Okay, or trades and all those things. That is not at all your area of concern. Okay, people in a hick of moment start studying various things. I will call them as a GS in a UPSC point of view, which is not at all required. Okay, if you are a mechanical engineer working in a mechanical company, be clear what have you studied and be clear what job you are doing. Be clear what your sector or industry is doing. You are not supposed to know economics. Okay, so don't try to put yourself under undue preparation. It will waste your time, money, energy. Okay, be clear on knowing yourself well. That is what I always thrust upon. Okay, if you have doubts, I will wait for a minute, and we will go ahead after that. Oh, there's an interesting question by Asmara. I want to understand how much do they dig into hobbies of a person. If I write I like reading, will they really grill me for that? A very interesting thing. Standard questions. Okay. Well, everybody has a hobby. Hobby is what? There's a difference between hobby and interest. Hobby is something where you carve out some time in the year to do that activity. It may be daily, it may be weekly, it may be quarterly, it may be annually. Okay. Now, you mentioned very interesting thing. Hobby is reading. Okay. Reading is a vast area. What you like to read? You write fiction, you like autobiographies, you like science fiction, you like Harry Potter. What type, what genre you like to read? That matters a lot. Okay. And nothing wrong. Okay. I also like reading, but I like reading, let's say, Marathi humor. Okay. You ask me on that area why I like it, because yes, it refreshes me. You ask me anything on that area, I'll be happy to work on that. So always be very specific. Reading is a vast word. Okay. And what they see, understand one thing, they are not there to grill you. Okay. So that don't get angry, Asmara, but they are not there to grill you. They are just trying to find out how much you are again aware about yourself. How much what you are saying is known to you. Okay. So that is most important. Don't get frightened. Otherwise, we will not be able to write anything in our document, isn't it? So avoid that. Stuart, what about core engineering working in IT? No problem at all. More than 40-50% of engineers in IT sector are not from computer science branch. So you are not the first one. Don't worry about it. We will handle that. So even if you are a core engineer and you're working in IT sector, nothing wrong about it. Okay. So I think I have handled these queries also, hopefully. Let me check if anything is pending. No. Okay. So thanks, Asmara, that it was reassuring for you. Okay. So let's move ahead. I think I don't have much great to tell you right now. We're just trying to tell you that with my experience of 20 years, what all things are essential for a student. Now I think, how can we help you? That was the question which many students earlier asked me. How should I join your class? Someone has asked that question. I want to know more, or I want to know things. So my first submission to all of you, each one of you is unique. You are a unique person. Okay. Everybody has a uniqueness. We have to identify that, how that uniqueness is going to get captured in your preparation and how you are able to portray it in the interview. Okay. So I think what we are here to, how we are able to help you out. At first, on 8th of January, there is that Explorer exam. So we will not be doing anything before that. So today is the only introduction about us. I would first of all tell that focus on your exam for those who are preparing for that. Okay. And then we can move ahead on the preparation point of view. Oh, there is another question coming from Tanishk. Okay. Will there be a difference in interview that are online or offline? As long as there was a COVID, the faculties were forced and everybody was forced to go for online interviews. There is a big difference between online and offline. Okay. Everybody actually prefers offline than online, particularly when it comes to education side. Okay. Education sector, it's very, very important to meet a person, anybody in person than meeting online. Okay. There's a difference between online interviews and offline interviews. The basic difference happens in online is a lag. Okay. I can right now tell me when I'm reading on the other screen, I can see that there's a delay in what I am saying and what you are hearing. So that is going to happen when it comes to online thing. Second thing is that in online interview, you need to be very careful about the link, the quality of link, the quality of internet network, and all your facial expressions, because ultimately the body language is going to come is only through your facial expressions. And if they tell you, okay, can you explain us certain things, then you should be handy enough to have some paper pencil with you to explain them. Okay, one can do in this way. So there is a separate article written by HR people or expert people on how to handle the what you can say as a online interviews, which is, there is a separate article which is there with me. I will share later on. Okay. Okay. Since IIM U announced that this year cap round will be via Zoom only, it's okay. Nothing wrong about it. If it is Zoom, no issues about it. See, it's not only for you, Tanishq. It is for everybody. So you can get back to me in person where I can, or anybody, I can share that article also. I'll keep in that comment later on. You can read that article where I have categorically mentioned that what's the difference between the online interview and offline interview. And if time permits, even I can show you on the screen where the article is. Okay. Okay. How to prepare an attractive resume. Oh my God. Attractive resume क्यों चाहिए भाई? Which B schools are asking resume? Let me get, I am not sure about it because everybody will have their own form that gives a standardization even for evaluation point of view. Still, if your B school have a resume requirement, I am sure to help you out. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So let me come ahead. What we are going to offer you, what we are doing. Again, I will get back to questions after few minutes. So first and foremost thing is that we will help you in writing effective SOP and WAT because everybody is individual. So that is one thing. I'm going step by step. So okay. So those general stages are WAT, GD, PI. I'm going in these three ways. So at first thing first. So effective WAT and GDPI. So good contributor in a GD. Now comes the most important part. As I said, we are all unique. So I will be personally spending time with every individual to have a personalized discussion to build up a profile. And that's going to be a taxing job because and I have been doing this for last so many years. I have handled more than 45-50 students on my own individually. So yes, there will be one-on-one discussion to build up your profile. When we start on 9th of January, I will give you an exercise and based on your submissions, we will be starting first with the discussions. Okay, WAT and etc. are the group activities where we will have a online or offline sessions. Don't worry on that. But the PI point of view, it will be always extremely personalized discussion. So there won't be nothing except me myself to help every individual. And of course, I have a closed chest, so there can't be anything like a group counseling or anything. Okay, so it's all individual. Of course, then me, Nitin, with vast experience, we will have your initial round of the interviews, and most importantly, all our interviews since 1998. I have been recording all the interviews and I always give a copy of that interview to the student to watch. In 98, we used to have that analog camera. So we used to keep a TV attached to it and we used to give a separate room for a student with a cassette to check his or her interview. Now it's a digitized world. So after your interview, in fact, here what happens is that after your interview, that is taken by me and Nitin, we will, after interview, we will immediately start playing the interview and start discussing what went right, what went wrong. Okay, so that's going to be the most important thing. Then once that process is done, then we will expose you to industry experts who are there to help you out with the, again, mock interviews, practice interviews. Those will be video recorded, but that will be like, a real life examination or a real life case. So there will be interviews one after another. So each will get recorded. And then as per mutually convenient time, we will again discuss your interview with me and we can work ahead on that. Okay. Yes. So there are questions which come that how long are you going to last? So our support will be there till your last admission process. Okay. If someone is going to have an interview in the month of May, we are not going to say we are done in March. We will be saying that yes, in May also we will be there with you because your every call is important for us. Okay. So this process is not something like a time bound thing. This is not time mounting. It will start from 9th of January and it will continue till last student's last admission process. Okay. So because everything is personalized. Only what will happen? Activities like group discussion or WAT will happen with the entire batch simultaneously. We will carve out certain days, maybe 2 days a week or 3 days a week. We will be working on a WAT point of view, and remaining all the days, I will be working with every individual on profile building and interview point of view. Again, when the calls will be out, do let us know what process you have, if you have GD or not, and then we can even have a GD. And even otherwise, if you are interested to know more about GD, because once you go to B school, their companies again take a group discussion during your summer internship and your final placement. So if you want to participate in a GD, you are most welcome. There's nothing extra required for that. Okay. And yes, there will be weekend sessions, there will be late evening sessions. Particularly, I respect those who are in their professional life. We are preparing for MBA to enhance our career. So it should not come at the cost of your current employment. I am happy to have a session, or rather I am more famous to in the student that I'll take a session in the evening after 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. Why? Because let you finish your professional life, my support will start after that. I don't want you to miss your professional career just for this preparation. First of all, justify that current employer, respect current employer. Okay, I am there to help you out in the evening, late evening. So don't worry on that point of view. And I think anything else left? Yeah. Now I think there is another very interesting part which we are going to offer to you. So for that part, I think I will ask Parinaz once again, and she will share a few points with that regard. Okay, over to Parinaz. Thank you. I'll come back to you later on. Don't worry.
Yes. So yes, sir will be joining us again after I'm done with the offering. So I believe sir has explained everything beautifully about what all offerings would be there. But one thing that is going to be a very unique part of your whole preparation journey is going to be the astrologer of this whole process. Astrologer, maybe I'm naming it incorrect, but yeah, we call it MBA tracker. How does that work? It's a psychometric analysis that will help you in understanding your areas of interest based on the responses that you give in the test. Okay, this psychometric analysis will test you through all different areas, right from your personality, your interests, your attention, your writing skills, your cognitive skills, and once you feed in that data, your report will be there. Now, this is how a particular or a typical psychometric analysis look like. So this will be very simple questions out there. And yes, the best part about this whole analysis is the report. It gives you a detailed summary which talks about all the areas you are good at, your top ideal career options, and how should you be carving your way out through this year. We talk about the areas which you are good at, not good at, and then at the end of the day, we will provide you with every necessary detail required to crack your interview to your final selection, so that you can make it to your final selection. So this is one part of it. Right. Apart from this, the last and the most important thing is that you need to come and enroll with us for this whole journey. Without your support and without your attendance, I believe this is not going to be possible. All you have to do is scan this QR, join the WhatsApp group, and our counseling team will get in touch with you to answer the questions that you have. So over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Parinaz. So this is a scan code. I think I'll request someone from the group to even put the scan code on the chat also, so you can check it up. Now, lastly, thank you to Hai. But then, okay, let me close this PPT. Now, there was question on uh, your online interview process and etc. So of course this is a website which talks about who am I, okay, and a list of industry experts. Everywhere if you click, it will open their profile in LinkedIn. So these are the people who are there, who will be also part of your placement admission preparation. And apart from that, so if I come to thoughts, okay, yeah, so yes, this is the article, okay, which talks about how should one prepare for a virtual interviews, do's and don'ts. You can take a screenshot of this page link and you can go through it. It will be very much helpful to you. And this article is actually written by people who are from a top B school grad, and they are into HR and they have been conducting online interviews. So what they look in an introduction. So this is all the things which is available in short for the online interview process. Okay, I hope that helps you a lot. If you have doubts, please ask, and I hope to meet you all very soon. So I think, yeah, Tanishka, this is the article. Hope this will help you on online interview point of view. Okay, so anything else from your side, please let me know. Otherwise, we will say goodbye and best wishes to all of you. Okay, you have a great opportunity in your hand out of so many lakh applicants. So once you get a short list, do get back to us. In the meanwhile, you can join us on a WhatsApp group. Don't worry about it, where we will keep sharing many more things about the preparations point of view. Okay, with that regard, I think lastly I will say that thank you very much. If you have anything, please ask. Yeah, Tanishk, you still have a doubt? When can we expect having calls? I don't know about it, dear. I am not a part of a process of any institute, any MBA college. So every college will have their own time frame and they will release their calls accordingly. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Ankur, thanks a lot. I hope I cleared everybody's doubt. Don't hesitate to get back to us in any case. If you can come here. Oh, okay, I have one thing. Let me just come here. Okay. No, I don't want this. I don't want this. Towards the end. Yeah. So this is my mobile number. Very honestly. So you can contact me out here, or we will also share another mobile number. So what's the other mobile number? So you can okay, let me just come. इसका कहाँ पे नहीं आएगा, इस पे नहीं आएगा. Okay, so I think we will get back to you on that front itself. Okay, so thanks a lot, thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Thanks a lot. So bye bye, see you, all the best. Thank you.